We have an exciting day today. I'm excited. This is another theme week. This is week 3 of theme week, or theme month. So today's theme is isometrics. So this is going to be fun. We have some good exercises today. So show of hands, who knows what isometric exercises are?
Oh, this is Diane. I'm sorry, my camera's off. It's disconnected.
There should be a little icon that says, I think it says show video. Yeah, show video. I think or start video. You just click on that.
I haven't got it operating on my computer.
Oh, okay. Just keep the sound on for right now, and then you can just talk with us, and then while you try to fix your camera. So, show of hands, who has ever had experience with isometric exercises before, or at least that you know of off the top of your head? Okay. So this is going to be pretty new to a lot of people. So this is extra exciting and extra pressure on me. So this is great. Okay. So I am going to roll this whiteboard out for right now to show you guys some considerations for it. So I want to make sure that we highlight these before we start because I'm going to provide modifications. So isometric exercises are exercises where you get into a position and then you hold that position for the duration of the exercise. A really good example of that is either a plank or a wall sit. Okay, so think about a wall sit, you get into the seated position leaning up against the wall, you hold that position, and then that's your exercise, right? So that is an example of isometric. Getting in one position, the muscle does not lengthen or contract any more than where they're at in that current moment. Okay, so things I want to talk about before we get started with our isometrics today. One, if you are a person who has high blood pressure, okay, I'm going to be providing modifications. High blood pressure is sometimes, depending on whether it's controlled, if you're medicated, things like that, it could be influenced by isometric exercises. So think about a time that you've had to carry something super heavy, right? And you pick it up and you're holding on to it, maybe groceries, maybe a box, something like that, that you pick up and you hold and you're carrying it a long distance. This motion right here is isometric. You're holding it in one spot. Our blood pressure tends to rise when we do that. You can kind of feel it. Your face starts to get hot. Your heart starts to beat a little faster, right? So that's something I want to make sure that we're taking consideration of. If you have high blood pressure, I'm going to provide modifications, but I just want to make sure you are aware. The second thing is if you have bone or joint damage or problems in that area, okay? I want to make sure that you're being very smart about the way you're moving your body when we do these exercises. For example, if you have joint problems and we're doing an upper body workout or isometric exercise, I do not want you to lock your arms out, right? So we always want that little bit of bend in our joint, whether it's the shoulder, the elbow, the knee. We want to make sure we have soft hips, things like that. Make sure that we have that bend to leave kind of a buffer so we're not putting all the strain directly on the joint, okay? And then for bone problems, if you have osteoporosis and you know, or arthritis and you know where it's at, ease into the exercise. Make sure that you don't take off too much or bite off more than you can chew to get started. Kind of ease into it, see where your body's comfortable. Again, I'll be providing modifications for exercises that are relevant so you guys can decide which is best for you, okay? And if you have any questions, you guys know if it's about the exercise, you can type it in the chat box to Felix. If you have questions about tech, you're going to send that to Tiffany, and then I'll be able to answer any relevant questions on camera, okay? So just to recap, high blood pressure, bone and joint problems, okay? Make sure that you're paying attention to modifications if you need them, okay? All right. So we talked a little bit about what isometrics are. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the benefit of them. So they've been advertising it kind of throughout the week on social media, online, things like that, but I'm going to tell you guys now because why not? So it's actually a way for you guys to do exercise with utilizing very little space, very little effort, and still get muscle benefits. Okay, so things like bicep curls, if you think about the actual action of our movement, so we do a curl where we're contracting, and then we're relaxing and we're bringing that muscle down. That's a pattern of movement. It's challenging in its own way, right? And then if we take that and we make ourselves hold it, that's another way that muscle is moving, right? So we're challenging it differently than just a traditional bicep curl, which is going to then allow us to develop that muscle and develop the nerves in that muscle a lot more efficiently, right? So it's just a challenge to those muscles. So today we're going to do some of our normal stuff, right? We're going to do some of our normal stuff. For the first couple sections, we're going to do the last two exercises in our round are going to be isometric. And then I have a couple sections that are nothing but isometric. And then we're going to do our hand-eye coordination and cool down, okay? So we have a good layout today, and I'll make sure I let you guys know which ones are isometric, which ones are regular, okay? We're going to add one piece of equipment today that we have not used before. It's not a difficult one to find, so we're going to use a wall. Okay, so I just wanted you to find some open space on a wall near you, and then you can have that. We're going to utilize it for some of our isometric exercises. Okay, everybody on the same page? We're all good? Okay, so same deal as always. We are going to be working with our RPE scale. So we know it's a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being like we're laying on the couch, 10 being like we're running from a bear in the woods, right? Ultimate maximum speed intensity. So we're actually going to be in light intensity to intense intensity, which means we are going to be where you can tell that you're exercising, you start to feel good. That's going to be about our warm up, right? We're starting to get moving up to the workout's hard, but you can take it. Okay, so we don't want anything where you're on your last couple reps and you can't take any more, right? We don't want you at that intensity. I just want you guys somewhere between that 4 to 7 range. Okay. Equipment, we have our towel, we have our toilet paper roll or ball, and we have our dumbbells or cans of soup. So everyone has their equipment and their wall. The wall is new. Okay. And then our chair, armless, stable, make sure it's not going to slide around. I don't want anyone falling, nothing like that. Okay, and then do I have any brand new people? I think we saw some brand new names that were registered. I'm not sure if anybody's here. I think everybody on here that I can see is regular. Okay, very cool. All right, so we are going to get started. We're going to start with our standing position. There are no isometric exercises in this warm-up, so you don't have to worry about any isometric considerations right now. We will talk about them when we get to them. So we're standing in our upright position, our shoulders are back. Remember, we have a nice engaged core, nice and tight, okay? From here, what we're gonna do, we're gonna go up onto our toes and we're gonna raise our hands in front. Play the music. Okay. All right, and then up. So we're just one fluid motion, coming up onto the balls of the feet. Remember, there's no isometrics in this. Make sure we're controlling our breathing. Good, we're getting the shoulders warmed up, we're getting the ankles warmed up. All right, from here, next move, we're gonna put our hands side to side, press overhead with our knee raise, and then we're gonna go side to side. So we're taking a little bit wider of a step, okay, and bringing that knee out to the side a little bit. I don't want it directly in front. Good. And we're just getting everything moving, right? So this doesn't have to be super intense. Notice there's a lot of joints moving right now, elbows, shoulders, hips, knees. So take advantage of it. All right, from here, we're gonna stand in our upright position, nice and strong, hands on our hips. We're gonna step out to the side and lunge, back up to the top, and then switch sides. Good, and while you have your hands on your hips, feel your core, right? Feel your belly, feel how tight it feels. If it doesn't feel as tight, if you feel like you're not activating enough, squeeze that belly button back to the spine. All right, standing nice and tall, hands out to the side. We're gonna do our seesaw. You guys remember this, we're going side to side. Arms staying in line with one another. Good. Getting our torso nice and warmed up. Good. All right, next move, we're gonna do our half jack. So now we're gonna try to get our heart rate up a little bit higher, and we're just gonna half jack. Tapping that heel out in front. Good, keeping those shoulders back. All right, the next move, we're going to do our pelvic tilt. Do you guys remember this? So we have our stance, we're nice and tall, our core is engaged. We are gonna tilt our pelvis forward, and then we're gonna tilt it back, right? So we're trying to dissociate our pelvis from our spine. For men who are on this call, this is typically a little bit harder for you guys. So this is something you can really focus on. Good, let's go back to our first exercise, our calf raise and our shoulder flexion. Right, we got the hands going, good. Keep going, keep going. All right, next one, we're gonna press overhead and knee raise. And remember, we're going side to side with that knee raise. Good. All right, side lunge, hands on the hips. Step out to the side, back to the top, and switch. All right, standing tall, hands out to the side, seesaw. And back to half jack. Good, shake those out, take those out. How's everybody feeling? Warmed up? Feeling good? Wonderful, okay. So we are gonna go to our next section. We're gonna have two exercises in here that are gonna be isometric. Okay, one of them is a squat and hold, okay? So when we do this exercise, we'll be in a squat position, hips are gonna go back. We're gonna get into our squat position wherever you're comfortable, okay? And we're just gonna hold it, okay? That's it. I recommend if you feel a little unstable, you can have your chair behind you, okay? Have your chair behind you, sit back like you're gonna sit in the chair, and then if you feel unstable and need to sit down, you can go straight down into the chair, okay? That's the first one. The next one is a hip abduction and hold. And you guys are familiar with hip abduction, so we go like this, leg goes out, and we're gonna hold it there. And it's gonna really work your hip muscle, okay? Now, again, you can use your chair to hold on to when you do it. So that way you don't lose your balance if you feel a little unstable. So make sure you have your chair nearby for both of those exercises, just a supplemental, okay? All right, we're gonna go into our next section, standing position. We're gonna start with our march in place. Make sure our core is activated, right? The ultimate isometric exercise, standing with a nice activated core for a long period of time. All right, so next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna keep this march in place and we're gonna add some overhead punches, okay? Good. Trying to keep that heart rate up. All right, next move, arms up overhead, high knee with the follow through. Good, we're right in front this time. We're not going side to side, keeping in front of the body. Try to keep some stiff arms, okay? Stiff arms. We don't want them flailing around all over the place. Keep them stiff. One more time. One more time. All right, from here, we're gonna go to our squat and hold. This is our first isometric exercise. Now we're gonna go into our squat position. We're gonna hold on to that. Hang in there with me. Make sure you control your breathing. Breathe through the nose, out through the mouth. Keep that position. Now, if you are somebody who has high blood pressure, joint or bone problems, you can do a pulse. Or if you would like to just go do the squats with us, right? While we're holding, you can do squats. That's perfectly fine, whichever you prefer, okay? All right, I had somebody write in. They were asking about how to activate your core. Really bear down. You want to tighten that belly up. You want to imagine that you're trying to pull your belly button back to your spine. You're sucking it in, activating those muscles. All right, everyone stand up. Take the legs out. We're going to do one more like that. Squat position and hold. You can really feel that core, right? We're pulling that belly button back. Feel like if somebody walks up, they're going to poke you in the belly. You don't want it to hurt. You're protecting it. Good. Legs should start burning soon. All right, let's bring it back up. Take those legs out. We're going to go to our next isometric exercise. Make sure your chair is close by. Hip abduction, taking that leg out to the side. And we're going to hold. Now, very important, we do not want this leg. I'm going to turn to the side. You guys stay where you're at. We don't want this leg that's out to the side to come in front. Okay, keep it in line with your body. Trying to be in line with the camera so you guys can see. Make sure it's in line with your body so that way you're activating the right muscle. All right, take that leg out. We're going to switch sides. Switching sides. Take that leg out and hold. Make sure that our base leg has some bend in it. Good. All right, put that leg down, take that out. We're gonna go back to our march in place. Good. Getting the arms pumping, we're trying to keep the heart rate up. So after the first set of isometrics, how do you guys feel? Good, kind of getting warmed up to the concept, right? All right, we're gonna keep this march. Now we're gonna do 2 punches overhead, okay? And then 2 to the side. So it's gonna look like this. Up, up, side, side. Up, up, side, side. Good. All right, next move, high knees with the follow through. Good, we're still in front. Good, let's go to our squat and hold. We're gonna do a small one. Squat and hold. Remember, feel that belly. And raise up, shake those legs out. Wonderful. How you guys feel? Good, okay. So we're gonna take our first drink break. Go ahead and grab a sip of water. All right, so you guys liking the concept of isometrics yet? Starting to grasp it, starting to hang on to it. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna grab our cans of soup or dumbbells. And that's gonna be the equipment for the next exercise set. Okay. So the next two isometric exercises that we're going to do in this set, they are reverse lunge and hold with a holding twist, okay? Now we've done this, but we've done it concentrically. Now we're going to do it isometrically. So what that looks like, we have our hands together, palms together, right? We're going to do a reverse lunge. And from here, we are going to turn and we are going to hold this position. Okay, we're trying to keep that body nice and tight. And if we go the other way, we are holding. Okay, so you try to make it still as possible. Try to activate the muscles that you're using. Try to squeeze them. So in this case, it's going to be the front leg. We're going to squeeze that front leg. For the core, it's going to be our trunk. Okay, we're going to hold that trunk. And for upper body, we're going to try to keep the shoulders in the same angle. So we don't want our shoulders to start to sneak forward, right? We want to try to keep them in the same exact spot. When you're doing this, it's also beneficial. The leg that's in front, you want to squeeze that butt cheek hard, okay? It'll help you keep your balance, okay? So you can use your glute muscle to help with that. The next exercise is a wood chop. Now this one's going to be a little bit different than we're used to, okay? So usually we're used to coming down here, bending the knees, and driving up front, right? Or driving up to the top. This time it's going to be a little bit different. I would like you to hold on to these cans of soup or dumbbells as tightly as you can, pushing inward. Okay, we're pushing inward. So it's not by your grip strength, it's by pressure in between the two pieces, okay? So we're pushing it, we're keeping our hips nice and still, we're raising our arms up, and then we're bringing our arms down. So you should feel your muscles start to work as you're putting pressure between these two pieces of equipment, okay? Is everyone kind of feeling that as they practice it? You're starting to feel that muscle work? I'm seeing some head nods. Okay, so we'll try everything out. Those are the two that we're going to do. And then we have some other exercises as well. Okay? All right, so the first thing, hands in on the dumbbells. We're going to march in place, getting the arms moving. All right, from here, we're going to go to that squat position that we were in earlier. Okay, so we're going to be here. We have our hands up by our chest, resting against. Yep. And from here, we're going to go side to side. Good. Now remember, we're not locking our knee out. We're keeping bend in these knees. Keeping our chest up, keeping our eyes up. All right, next move, we're going to do our squat with our arms three ways. You guys remember this? We have them going across the chest. We're going to squat. We're going to come up, arms are going to go out in front. We're going to squat. And then the arms are going to drop low, and we are going to squat, okay? So it's cross body, out, down, cross body, out, last one, and down. And then from here, we're going to do our standing oblique crunch. So what that looks like, hands up by our temples. Perfect, elbows are up. We're going to crunch and bring that knee up. Good, crunch and bring that knee up. Now when we're doing this, remember, we're thinking about our core like an accordion, right? So think about an accordion, the musical instrument. We want it to fold in the image of an accordion. All right, now we're going to do our first isometric, our reverse lunge. So we're going to go back in that reverse lunge position, get stable, okay? We have our hands in front of our chest, and we are rotating, and we are going to hold. Remember, we're squeezing the leg that's in front. We're going to squeeze that butt cheek, right, nice and tight. Squeeze that thigh. Keep our core nice and tight. We're controlling our breathing. Let's go back to the front. We're going to do that exact same side again. So go ahead and kind of shake out. We're going to go again. Rotate and hold. You should feel a lot of tension on this side of your core. Good, let's bring that back to front. We're gonna step in. We're gonna switch, so we're gonna step back other leg. Arms in front, turn and hold. Good. Let's bring that back to center, shake out. We're gonna do one more on that side. Hands together and rotate. Remember, we're keeping those shoulders nice and flat. All right, back to center, stepping up, wonderful job. Next one's that wood chop. So remember, we're pushing these cans of soup, these dumbbells together, okay? So keeping everything nice and tight. Wood chop, back down, good. We're pushing, pushing, pushing. Good. So the movement itself, you're moving your shoulders, but the isometric part is where you're pushing into these pieces of equipment, into these dumbbells. Good. All right, we are going to switch sides. Same thing. We're just going to go the opposite direction. Squeezing, putting pressure, and up, and down. Good. Very important, we're not rocking our elbows out. We have some bend in our elbows. We talked about joint problems, right? And bone problems. We want to make sure we're not putting any extra stress that they don't need to be under. Good, let's go back to the march in place. Just kind of work this out. Take the arms out. They should be nice and tense right now. All right, wonderful job. What do you guys think about those? Good. So we kind of broke those ones down a little bit further. Which would you say is your favorite? The first one or the second one? First one or the second one? First one. I've seen a lot of ones. Yeah. So the one, because it's lower body, you get a lot of that core. And with those shoulders opening up, you get a good stretch too. So it's a good exercise. You guys can do that on your own as well. All right, so we're gonna put these down. We're gonna go to our next section. This is gonna be a 100% isometric exercise, okay? So a 100% isometric section. So we're actually gonna grab our towel. So go ahead and grab your bath towel. Okay, so we're gonna walk through these ones as well. So the first thing is gonna be a pull apart. So if you have a band, I recommend if you can lap it twice, if you can like fold it over a second time to give you a little bit extra resistance, perfect. If not, I just recommend that you grab it more towards the middle. So there's less movement. You wanna make it as stiff as possible. Okay, wonderful. All right, for those of you that have a towel, we're gonna be doing the same thing. We're gonna be holding on to the middle to end, okay? Now, the first one is a pull apart. So all we're gonna do, very simple, you're gonna hold it out in front, and you are gonna put a lot of pressure like you're trying to rip it in half, okay? You're gonna be pulling this towel apart, okay? So you're gonna feel a lot of strain, or I shouldn't say strain, you're gonna feel a lot of work in the back of the shoulder, okay? Good, everyone feel comfortable with that? Good, okay, next one. We're gonna do a tricep extension. So this one's gonna be a little bit different. You're gonna hold the end of your towel or your band, whichever you have. So for those of you who have a band, you'll hold the looped part in this hand, okay? The next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna grab the middle, more towards the top, but the middle, and you are gonna keep this in one spot and pull down, right? So the top arm is staying very, very still. The bottom arm is trying to pull it away from your head, like pulling it to the ground. You're feeling this, and you're gonna hold it, okay? And then we'll switch sides, so we'll do both sides. Feeling comfortable with that one? Okay, next one is just the opposite. So instead of doing a tricep extension, you're gonna hold the middle, you're gonna hold it down. And while you hold it down, you're going to try to pull the band up and or the towel up. You're going to use your bicep and we're going to pull up and we're going to hold as hard as we can. As hard as we can. We want a good workout for this. And then we'll switch. So remember, we're holding the bottom, pulling to the top and not letting it go anywhere. Good. All right, the next thing, we're going to do a pec fly with the towel behind. So what that looks like, we're going to loop this around our back. We're going to bring our elbows in nice and tight, okay? And you can kind of see how I have it looped around my elbows, okay? And then from here, I want you to just pull your chest muscles together. So it kind of looks like this, and you're holding and you're squeezing, okay? Now, for those of you who have a band, you're not going to have quite as much resistance. The most important thing is that you contract, okay? So you want a lot of contraction. That will help make your muscles think that there's a lot more resistance, okay? So we're going to do this motion, okay? And then the last one, this is actually going to be, we're going to fold it. We're going to kind of roll it up like this. We're going to put this towel between our knees. You are going to squeeze the towel between the knees, and we're going to go into chair pose. Okay, so chair pose kind of looks like this. And we will hold that, okay? So the important thing is whether you have a towel or a band, that you're not letting the towel or the band fall out of your knees, right? We want to make sure we're holding it so it sticks there, so we're contracting that muscle, okay? All right, you guys ready? Any questions on any of those exercises? All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with our pull apart, okay? So we're going to have, again, hands out in front, and we're pulling like we're trying to rip it in half. You should feel constant tension. Good. Now we're going to hold this for a while, so be ready. All right, next move, we're going to do our tricep extension. So we're holding the top, grabbing the middle. We're going to push down like we're trying to push it away from our body. We're going to hold that position. Hold that position. Good. Remember that the muscle that we're working in this moment is back of the arm, back of the arm. All right, let's switch sides. Other hand. Good. All right, now we're going to switch. We're going to do bicep curl. So remember, we're holding it low, and we're trying to pull it up. Trying to pull it up. We're keeping that bottom hand nice and still, resisting with that base hand. Good, let's switch sides. Again, remember you're not holding your breath. Make sure that you're controlling your breathing. Let's see the big biceps here. Who's got big biceps today? Esther's got big biceps today. Ruth has big biceps today too. She's holding that. All right, next we're going to take it behind the back. You guys remember this one, right? So behind the back, kind of around the elbows. Okay, up around the arm. And what you're going to do, you're trying to squeeze your chest muscles together. Squeeze them together. Using the towel or the band for resistance. Good, and we're holding that. We're holding it. All right, taking that back around the body. Wonderful job. You guys are hanging in there. We're going to kind of fold this up. Place it between the knees. Get into chair pose. And we're holding. This is another good one. Make sure you have a nice tight core. Pull that belly button back. Brace down. If I walk up and poke you in the belly, I want to feel those muscles moving. All right, back up to the top. Let's pull this apart. Pull apart. All right, so we are going to do this one a little bit longer this time. We're going to challenge you guys. You guys got a good handle on the exercises. Let's pull this apart. It's as hard as you make it. If you feel like it's not as difficult, try to pull a little bit harder. If it's a little bit too difficult, you can relax a little bit. Good, let's go ahead and put that down. We're gonna do our tricep extension. One arm, hand in the middle. We're pulling down. Top arm is not moving. And hold. Good, keep going. Just checking the camera. Good, let's switch sides, switch sides. Hold in the middle and push, or I guess pull down. All right, we're gonna switch. We're gonna do bicep curls. You guys know we're holding the bottom down low, and we're trying to bicep and pull that up, keeping our bottom hand still. Who's got the big biceps now? Both my Judies with the big biceps. Oh, all three Judies are here today. I got all three of my Judies. I love it. All right, let's switch sides. Good bicep curl. Good, we're holding that position. All right, let's loop that around the back, around the elbows. And we are squeezing the chest muscles together, right? Trying to squeeze. Good. Very important that you keep constant tension. Wonderful job. You can go ahead and let go of that. We can put that down. Thank you very much. We're going to take a water break, so go ahead and take a sip of water. All right, how's everybody feeling so far? It's new, right? It's different. A lot of you, this is the first time you're being exposed to isometric. So that's really awesome. I'm really excited. It's going to feel a little weird to start. So I have some people that they kind of start doing the exercise and they're like, hold on, wait, I'm going to adjust a little bit. And I see a lot of movement happening, trying to get readjusted. So you guys are doing great. Hang in there. You're doing good. Do you guys have any questions up to this point? I think I see some typing. Remember, you can type those into us. All right, so while you guys are typing in your questions, I'm going to go to the next one. This is actually going to be a seated section. So we're going to take a seat, okay? And we are going to grab the toilet paper roll or your ball if you have one, okay? Toilet paper roll or the ball. Now this is another entirely isometric section. So we're going to go over the exercises. So the first one is we're going to have the ball or the paper towel roll. We're going to put it on our chair. Okay, so it's going to be on the on the back of the chair in line with your elbow. Okay, so if you see from the side, here, let me turn to the side, give me 1 second. You see from the side, I have it on the back of the chair in line with my elbow. Okay, and the first one is we're just going to put pressure. We're going to push our elbow back into that toilet paper roll. Okay, we're going to push into it. We're going to use that muscle. We're going to really use that shoulder. And that holding of that position is the exercise. And then we'll switch sides. I recommend if you're using a toilet paper roll that you have it so the tube is perpendicular to the chair. So it's flat, okay? If you go the other way, it will smash. So you want to make it so it's not going to smash. So you want to put the flat side down on the back of the chair. The other one that we're going to do, and this one you're actually going to grab your towel as well, okay? So we'll kind of bounce back and forth. We have our towel. We're going to take it behind the knee. You're going to hold on to the end of it, And your exercise is to kind of lean back in your chair, and you're going to bicep curl by pulling your leg up and hold, okay? So I'm bicep curling, I have the towel under my leg, you're leaning back so you have a little bit more mobility, and you're holding that position. Now, if you need to go a little bit lower on the towel, like choke down the towel, you can have a little bit more flexion, okay? So if you're up a little bit too high, you can't quite get the flexion you need. Make it so that way your arms are at about 90 degrees, okay? So when you curl, you're at about 90 degrees, okay? That's the second one. The next one, you're actually gonna take it around the foot. From here, we're gonna bring it up in this position and we're gonna hold. Now, the trick to this is I want you pushing against this towel. You're pushing with your foot. You're trying to kick it out of your hand, but you're hanging on to it, okay? So the isometric exercise is the pushing motion that you're putting into this towel. All right, that's the third one. The next one, we're gonna take the toilet paper roll back again. We're gonna go flat on the outside. You guys, you have done this a little bit before, and you are gonna push into the ball or the roll of toilet paper, and you're gonna hold that. You guys remember doing a little bit of this. We've done pulses before, but nothing quite like this. You're gonna have it extended, and you're pushing into the ball, trying to squeeze it, or the roll of toilet paper. Again, I recommend making sure the tube is long ways, okay? And then the last thing we're gonna do is actually gonna be no equipment. We're gonna put one palm up. You're gonna take the other hand, you're gonna put it on your forearm, and you're gonna try to push your arm down while you resist with the other arm, okay? So you're trying to keep that arm in the same spot while you resist, okay? You guys ready? Give it a shot? You guys are exploring a lot today, I like it. Okay, so we're gonna take our roll of toilet paper, we're gonna put it flat on the chair behind us, okay? And we're gonna push our elbow into it, getting nice and tall, right? We're sitting nice and tall. Pressing our elbow, try to push as hard as you can, and you're gonna hold it. Good. Again, make sure that you keep your breathing under control. I know this is very introductory, but I just want to make sure you guys, you're not holding your breath. All right, let's switch sides. You're going to take that back. We're going to switch, put that behind the other arm at elbow level. My chair is kind of curved. I keep losing it. All right, sitting nice and tall, good posture, and breath. You guys feel tension? You can feel that work? Good, good. I saw Esther's thumb shoot up. She's ready. She likes it. All right, now we can go ahead and put that down. We're going to put that back on the floor or somewhere where you can easily grab it. We're going to take the towel, put it behind the knee, okay, behind the knee. And remember, we're doing the bicep curl behind the knee. So we're curling up, leaning back slightly, and we're holding. Remember, the biceps are doing the work right now, the biceps. So we're using the resistance of our leg to pull away, or the weight of our leg to pull away from us, and we're using our arms to keep it up. So we're holding that position. All right, from there, we're gonna take it underneath the foot, okay? I recommend if you have a hard time with balance when you're doing this, you can drop the towel first and then step into it, okay? From here, we're going to bend our knee at 90 degrees, and we are pressing. We're gonna press really hard into that towel, really hard into that band, and we're gonna hold on to that. One position. Good. All right, let's put that down. We're gonna switch sides. So we're gonna put the other foot in, coming up into that 90-degree angle, pressing into that towel, pressing into that band. Good. We're going to go ahead and drop that down. Cross it over front. We're going to grab our toilet paper roll again. Palms facing the flat side. And squeeze. Squeeze those shoulders. Squeeze those hands together. Like you're trying to touch your palms. Good. Keep pressing, keep pressing. I see some of you that can go a little further. I see it. Good. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to drop that, put that back down. One palm up. Other hand on the forearm. We are pressing down with this hand and pushing up with the other, keeping that in the same spot. Good, hang on to that. Good, take that out, let's switch. Palm up, palm flat, good, and we're pressing. Remember, we have good posture, we're sitting up nice and upright. Good, go ahead and roll that out. We're gonna take our toilet paper roll again. We're gonna put the elbow back on the chair. Elbow level. Pressing in, nice and tall posture. Good, let's switch sides. Now remember, I don't just want you resting on it. I want you pressing into it, pressing into the chair. Good. All right, let's go ahead and take that out. We are all done with this section. How you guys feeling? Still feeling good? Good, okay, so you guys are kind of getting the gist of it, right? You're getting the theme of it. All right, so we can put that down. We're gonna go to our last section of isometrics, which is the wall, okay? So I make sure everybody has access close to the wall. We're gonna move the camera slightly so I can be next to the wall. That work? Yep, okay. All right. So here's our exercises for this one. So we're gonna go to the first push-up position. So we want our hands about shoulder width apart. We're gonna go into push-ups about 90 degrees, and we're gonna hold here, okay? That's the first one. The second one, we are gonna push into this wall. So I want you guys to try to push into your neighbor's living room, okay? We're putting our hands up. We have one foot in front, one foot behind, and we are pushing as hard as we can into the wall, okay? Don't actually knock down the wall. All right, next one. We're gonna do a hip adduction and hold. So what that looks like, hands flat, we're taking across the body with our foot and we're holding. Okay. And then the next one and the last one is gonna be two hands overhead, flat, and we are pressing into the wall. So you're standing a little bit more upright. You're not pushing with your elbows, you're pushing with your shoulders. Okay? Everybody good? All right, this is our last section, and then you guys will be done for the day. So first thing, we're gonna go to that push-up position. Remember, hands are shoulder height and about shoulder width apart. We are going into push-up position and hold. Make sure your back is flat. You're gonna hold that position. Good. Now, if you need to make it a little bit more difficult, you can slide your feet back a little bit further away from the wall, and that puts you at a better angle to make it a little more difficult. All right, bringing it back up. Now we're gonna push the wall through. We're gonna push through the wall. So hands on the wall, one foot in front. Knock that wall down, let's see it. Knock that wall down. Really drive through that back leg. Let's switch legs. Take the other leg in front. And we're pressing. All right, coming back up. Next exercise, we're going to do the adduction. So we're going to come across the body, holding onto the wall, crossing the body with that hand, with that leg, and we're going to hold it. We are squeezing the inside of the thigh. Okay, so we're squeezing the inside of the thigh. Let's switch sides. We're going to go to the other leg. All right, take that leg out. Let's take those legs out. Big mouth, they had a good work on that one. All right, so now hands straight overhead. As tall as you can get them. We're going to press into the wall. Pressing into the wall. Good, we're going to hold that position. All right, let's bring that back. Shake those arms out, shake those arms out. All right, we're gonna go back to our push-up position now. I'd like everyone to take their feet back from the wall 1 more inch than you did the first one, okay? So 1 inch back and push-up position and hold. I don't want noses touching the wall. Keep your nose away from the wall. Good. Good, hang in there. If your arms are shaking, just try to hang in there as long as you can. All right, arms coming back, shake those out. Now we're gonna push the wall, okay? So push through the wall, hands up. And press as hard as you can. Driving through that back leg. Good, let's switch sides, other leg forward. Still pressing into that wall. All right, take those out. Now the last time we're gonna do this is the last exercise. Hands straight overhead, pushing up through the wall with the palms. Press those palms into that wall. Good. Nice elongated spine. Make sure you're nice and tall. You should feel some work in the shoulders and in the chest. Good. Bring those arms down. Shake those out. Shake those out. How you guys feeling? Good. Okay. So we are going to stop music. We are going to unmute. Okay. All right. And I know we went over time. I'm very sorry. I knew that I was going to have more explaining to do on this one.